And welcome back to On the Mic with Dr. H, the Global Mentor Coach. And listen, you're listening to Business Basics. This podcast is dedicated to helping you grow your business. I really hope you enjoyed the Thanksgiving holiday break because I sure did. In whatever way you chose to celebrate, even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I really hope that you got some rest. It's important for you as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, whatever you want to call yourself, to get rest. I talked about this in a previous episode entitled Mental Health Days. If you haven't listened to it, make sure you go and check it out. But today I'm talking about tariffs. And in a global market, it's important to really, first of all, you need to understand what a tariff is. A lot of you are small business owners. Some of you are thinking about expanding globally into global markets because we are in global markets. It's impossible to get away from tariffs. So you need to know what tariffs are and how they affect your business. More importantly, the hot button issue that's going on with tariffs, especially as there's some things going on between governments retaliating for against one another for one reason or another. It just is just no way around tariffs. You're going to see it. You're already, if you haven't, you've probably already seen some changes, especially for those in retail, in the grocery stores, especially if you just regular household goods, you're seeing it and you're going to continue to see it. So let's get into what we're talking about today. And I'm talking about understanding tariffs. So once you understand tariffs, you'll be able to really understand how to navigate your business and make sure that you are keeping up with the right prices in your business. So let's get into it. First of all, what in the world is a tariff? Because I'm sure you probably are like, what? Simply put, it's a tax. It's a tax on imported and exported goods. It's a tax. That's it. Tariffs are a source of revenue for countries, but it's also a way for countries to regulate. And that's the best way that I can put it. It's the best way for them to regulate the amount of goods that are imported into their country, specifically so they can protect certain industries. And usually it's those industries that have strong political influence, but it's just a way for them to kind of control things. So for instance, the auto industry, some countries only allow a certain number of vehicles to be imported, period, per year. And once they reach that point, that's it. There's no more importing vehicles. That's it. There's a cutoff. So there's a reason for that. Again, not just in dealing with emissions and quality control, all those other things, but it also makes sure that their auto industry has an opportunity to not only compete but survive and thrive. Because you don't want to import so much that businesses right in your own country cannot compete and survive. And we do have that right here in the US as well. So that's what a tariff is. That's what a tariff does. That's why tariffs even exist. It goes all the way back to like World War, I don't know, one of those wars, 1, 2, something like that. I mean, it's been around. Tariffs have been around for a long time. Okay, forever. So what are some of the tariffs that we have going on right now? So let's see, in 2019, the tariffs that the U.S. collected, 71%, it rose by $29 billion. A lot of this, of course, we know about the tariffs that's been imposed on China. So we kind of know that. And so you're seeing a lot, again, Walmart, other retailers, like I said, they're feeling it. They've been seeing it, probably the bulk of it. You're going to see increase in prices, all kinds of stuff. But that's one of the things that you're just going to notice that there are tariffs on. And so I want to get into a couple of tariffs. And I got into this topic because this weekend I saw where President Trump is retaliating basically against the French, and it's just crazy. It's back and forth again. It's politics as it relates to French wine, cheese, and handbags. He is proposing a 100% tariff tax. And I'm telling you, I thought it was absurd, but it is the real deal. It is serious. This is a thing. So I am really, I'm serious. I really got to get into this, because as of now, there are some new tariffs coming on. Like, we already knew about what was going on with the trade war with China that's been going on for a while, but you really got to pay attention to everything. Again, this latest news came out this weekend. If you didn't hear about it, President Trump is looking to impose a 100% tax. It is a tariff, 100% on France over tech taxes, and it's going to be on French wine and specifically champagne. Not only that, it's going to be what else? I'm trying to read these articles and it just all these pop-ups. It's just annoying, you guys. I know. I'm sorry. I was champagne, cheese, and handbags specifically, and I read that and I just was like, what? Do we understand how this could jeopardize international efforts to negotiate a truce on digital taxes? Like, this has been a big thing going on, but we don't hear about it so much. But when you get something like this, it's like boom. And so why did this happen? Because France hit American tech companies. And so this is President Trump's way of retaliating back against France's tech tax against American technology companies. So there's it's a war. It's coming back and forth. It's a war. So you wonder why Mark Zuckerberg is at the White House meeting privately with President Trump and not disclosing what it was. Maybe he's greasing some palms. Maybe, he's looking for advantage because he didn't like that the tax that was imposed upon him in France. Well, just pull Facebook from France. I don't know. But these things hurt small businesses, especially, who cannot compete at that level, but want to get into other countries who, maybe your product or your service has an opportunity to help advance things there. But this tariff, there's no getting around a tariff. Once it's imposed, this tariff is only going to apply to this company and not this one. That's just not how it works. It's everybody. So, it's really crazy. But it really hit companies like, of course, Facebook and Google. If you don't know, Google especially has had some challenges over in the UK, a little bit. So, but these companies don't even have a big presence in France, but they've hit it anyway. And so the Trade Representative Office of the United States did an investigation into the French tax on American tech companies, and they found that it discriminated against U.S. companies. It's inconsistent with, current, more prominent or prevailing what they call international tax policies, and it's going to be burdensome for U.S. companies. Now, I think that there's a way to negotiate without hitting somebody with a 100% import tax. But hey, so you're talking about $2.4 billion on cheese, wine, and handbags again. I don't know. Interesting. But what do you think this 100% tax is going to do to those industries? At the end of the day, companies who import from France, who import wine, cheese, and handbags from France, it's going to affect our market. It's going to affect our marketplace. As a business owner, if you import wine, cheese, or handbags from France, those taxes are going to be imposed, and that's going to affect your business and your prices, because you're going to have to adjust. Now, we're talking about, of course, those of you who are importing in mass quantities, okay? So, if you're getting whole container shipments and there's a lot that's happening there. But I'm just letting you know that you're going to feel it, even if you're not. If you're like the third person, you're a distributor, it's going to affect you and your prices. So these are things that you have to pay attention to keep up with it. So it's really kind of crazy, but it's something to pay attention to, because you're talking about going from 25% to 100%. That's just a huge, absurd, and I mean just completely absurd jump. So hey, hey, you went from a 25% tariff in October, just October of this year. Now you're going, it's November going into, well, it's December, talking about 100%, a 75% increase in, it's just, and around the holidays. So, we don't want to increase tensions, but it's definitely political. We know this, but these are some things that are growing concern that we're going to have. And so, here's the French argument about the digital service tax, because it's going to hit, to them, what they're saying is going to hit large American tech companies widely frequented by French citizens, like, again, Facebook and Google. They already don't have a huge presence there, but their citizens use it. Here's what French leaders are saying about why they imposed the digital service tax. They expressed concerns that their government has not been able to capture revenue from companies that sell or advertise online in France. And so they are not the only ones who share this concern. Britain and India have the same concerns. So if you're a company, your business, you're anybody, and you are advertising on Google or Facebook, for instance, the country, they are not paying any taxes, so the countries are not getting any revenue from those ads. So Facebook and Google can get billions and millions of dollars and not pay anything to the French government or to Britain and India or any other country from the revenue that they're getting from their very own citizens. So there's two sides to this. As a business owner, you're like, hey, that's great for me. Bottom line is fantastic. As somebody in France, the French government, because government is still a business, hey, that's revenue that's affecting our bottom line, because that's revenue we're not getting. We can't put that back into our community or whatever, into what we want to do for our country. So it's business. So it's a political business move. It's going to be interesting to follow this for a while to see what's going on. But I don't know. I don't know, but I want to get into this because I think it's important to really start talking about these tariffs and what they're going to do to affect the bottom line. It's the holidays. Again, people want to enjoy shopping and whatever. And as a business, you want to be able to get in on, the shopping frenzy, and capture some of those dollars for yourself and your business. So how do the tariffs affect you? Maybe these tariffs are not affecting you. You don't do anything with France. You're not importing anything from their country. Nothing like that along those lines. You're not impacted by, aircraft. Nothing that's really going to be hit for you there. But maybe some of the other tariffs are affecting you. You've already been impacted by anything coming out of China. And so now you're like, oh my God, what's happening? Well, there's an iPhone tariff coming in 11 days. Under President Trump's new plan, about 155 billion of Chinese-made products, and this includes iPhones, they're going to be hit with a new tariff. This is going to affect cell phones, laptops, tablets, anything. And maybe they don't produce the entire thing, but if they produce a part, I don't care if it's a chip, a motherboard, whatever, it's going to get hit with that tariff. It's going to get hit. Toys, office supplies, school supplies, Christmas ornaments, clothing. I don't care if it's fish, whatever, if it's coming out of China, it's getting hit with a new tariff come December 15th. $155 billion worth of tariffs come December 15th. Yeah. So, how does that affect your business? Is it going to affect your business? If you're a small business, maybe, maybe not. But 9 times out of 10, it's going to affect your business in some way. Maybe not directly, but indirectly. Because those costs are going to get passed on to you at some point. Because whoever it is, the middleman, all these people have to get their cut. They have to get theirs. So that's where we are as it relates to tariffs. There's a lot going on. I don't know. Last year, I mean, this tariff has been going on for a while. If you've been in washing machines, there was a tariff that was like a 12% increase on foreign-made washing machines. And a lot of it, of course, is to make sure that we get back to American manufacturing, but the cost of manufacturing in America is too expensive. Period. And until we address that, people are going to continue to outsource or manufacture overseas. And this is going to affect tariffs. It's a roundabout way to get back to American made, but it's almost impossible to 100% manufacture everything in America. Something's got to be imported. I don't care if it's a plastic thing. I don't care if it's, a pan or a little plastic bag like this, or, whatever it is that you're putting it in, the wrapper, the cellophane plastic wrap. Everything, something at some point is going to get imported, and you're going to need to use it from some other country. You're going to pay a tax on that. You may not pay it directly, meaning to have it imported in, but if you're buying it from someone else who is importing it in, that cost of the tariff is getting passed on to you. How do you then adjust in your business? You got to look at that and pay close attention. Probably you need to start having some conversations with your suppliers. Listen, let's have a conversation. What is your expectation of your price increases due to tariffs, increasing tariffs? I need to know so I can plan accordingly. Do I need to start shopping around? You got to ask yourself, you need to start shopping around for another supplier. Everybody at some point is going to be impacted. That's what I'm telling you. I don't care if you're selling TV. I don't care if you're selling clothes. I don't care if you're manufacturing yourself. You're going to be impacted. Why? Because something that you use in your manufacturing process is getting imported from some other country, and that cost is being passed on to you. There isn't a single company that's eating a tax. It's wrapped up in their pricing. If it's not, how could they possibly still be in business? There's a reason why things are going on. There's a reason why when you go into Walmart and everything is all, all the prices are jacked up. Everything is high. I have a friend who, she used to buy these big old things of coconut oil. She could get 2 for $17. Now you go in there, you only get 1 for $17. Why? Tariffs. And this was way back like in February and March of this year. Tariffs. Trust me, they're going to affect your business. You have to now figure out how, in what capacity, how much, and give yourself room to adjust your pricing so it's not negatively affecting your bottom line. Because at some point, these tariffs are going to trickle into your business, whether directly or indirectly. You just got to figure out how. So you need to be having conversations with your suppliers to find out, hey, how are these tariffs about to affect us, our relationship, and come up with some type of negotiation so that you aren't negatively impacted by these hikes, these tariff hikes, because I don't see an end to this happening anytime soon. So thanks for listening to On the Mic with Dr. Ace, the Global Mentor Coach. This has been another episode of Business Basics. If you like this podcast, please make sure you like and share it. I sincerely appreciate your support. If there are topics that you'd like me to cover, or, if you need a business coach, I'm here to support you. Email me at info@globalmentorcoach.com. That's info@globalmentorcoach.com. Again, thanks for tuning in with me, Dr. Ace, the Global Mentor Coach. Remember to spread lots of love and light. Until next time, bye.